I have this stack of books that my microphone's on, and today my book says, "This day all gods die." I picked it up at this used bookstore. I have no idea what the book's about. It's at this bookstore for cats. It's a charity bookstore for cats, and there were like cats walking past this book, and the book just said, All gods must die this day." And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm buying this book, whatever it is." I think it's like a science fiction book. Anyway,
Sounds
my
right up my alley.
microphone is on top of it.
Hello and welcome to Reaction Shots, the film and movie and TV and television show podcast. Coming to you vaguely toward the end or beginning of each month. This month, kind of in the middle. You never really know when it's going to happen, but here we are. And this month, we're going to be talking about squeakquels.
Equals.
Squeakquels.
Excellent.
And some prequels or requels might sneak in there too, but everything counts as our rule goes.
What about a side quill? A flash sideways?
A flash up side quill. Yes, those count too. We're doing them all, baby. But first, let me introduce myself, Isla Hink, my co-hosts, Matthew Walden and Michael Huber. Hello, boys.
Hello, hello.
Hey there.
Talking about movies today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and TB.
Yes.
Before we begin on the topic, we're going to talk about what we've watched lately. We're going to do a little bit of news, maybe, if Huber has some.
I did not get that much news today.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's fine. I also didn't. So
Slow news week.
slow news week. Probably a lot of stuff happened, but whatever. Yeah, all right. Hubie, what have you liked lately? Or watched lately? Or hated lately?
Just 2 movies. I watched that Eileen
Oh,
movie.
yeah. What did you think of
Yeah.
Eileen?
I liked it. It was gripping.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was-
so we've all seen it now.
We've all
Yeah.
seen it.
That was a good one. I really liked it. I didn't really see where it was going to go, I also really like when a movie is set in an older time
Yeah.
and it really feels like you just zone out so hard, you're so absorbed that it feels like it was then made in that time. And like
Totally.
Eileen definitely gave me that vibe of like, this feels like I'm watching an old noir. But then obviously with like modern commentary and stuff, I really like that one. Kept me guessing the whole way. And
Yeah.
I like the heavy dark stuff.
Definitely a gay yearning movie instead of a gay fulfillment movie.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, really good.
That
Yeah.
leave a penny, take a penny, or like line that he says to her, the dad. He's like, "You're like nothing. You're like, take a penny, leave a penny." Oh, Jesus.
I love Shea
That's
Wiggum. He is
rough.
the best.
Yeah.
Every time he
Shea
shows
Wiggum.
up,
He
if he
plays
shows up
such,
in anything, it's good.
Oh yeah, Perry Mason, dude. He plays such a good like rock bottom like low life. It's
Yeah.
so good with a
Totally.
little bit of heart. I love
Mhm.
it.
Yep. And then that's pretty much it, except for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, which is our thumbnail movie. It fits
I loved
in.
it
It's
so
why we're
much.
doing Squeakquels as well as sort of
Yeah.
Furiosa, even though it's a prequel.
Yeah.
Did you see it in IMAX?
Large format, not IMAX. So I saw it
So-
in the AMC Prime.
Almost the real deal.
So yeah.
almost the
I
real
don't-
deal.
Well, did they film it with IMAX cameras? I don't know if they did. Or
I actually
not.
don't have the answer to that.
Usually,
Yeah, I
if
don't
they
know.
do, like if they do, I'm always in the IMAX. But I feel like this one was not. So, yeah, obsessed, loved it. I love apes. I love the franchise since 1968 all the way back when I was born. No, I had
You were
the
born in 1968.
I had the VHS box sets. So I grew up with the old ones, and then the new ones are just some of my favorite movies ever. And I really, really like the way they did this one as like a soft reboot because it's like hundreds of years after the
Because
last.
it's like starting. I haven't seen it yet. It's like starting a new trilogy, kind of, or
yeah.
Yeah.
So it treats like the Caesar era as like the past, which I really like.
Cool.
So
we're
just
moving,
incredible.
moving inexorably toward that OG Planet of the Apes.
Totally. Yeah, it was
Deal.
great. Highly recommend. I love that those movies really challenge casual audiences, you know? Like like 3 or so couples walked out like 45, 50 minutes in. They
Really?
bounced cuz like I mean it's a 2.5 hour epic about fucking talking apes. Like sometimes I ask my friends about it, like, you gonna see it? And they're like, talking apes? Nah, man, I don't know. I'm not into that. So I just respect how many movies there have been, and that, you know, the budgets have been really big and they seem to be, you know, making their money back and
They're
audiences
like
are
a
showing
real,
up.
yeah, they're a real like silent juggernaut. They just kind of
Yeah.
like do well, obviously
Mhm.
well enough to keep making them, but like you never expect them to do that well.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. So just loved it. It's such an adventure movie. Like, it's so good. I fucking love that franchise, and I hope it did well enough to get another one.
Well, there's like 6 to go or something, or 5 to go. Didn't I maybe I heard they were planning on doing 9. Maybe that was something else.
Wasn't
about
one of
that.
them directed by the person who's doing the Zelda movie?
That was
I
this
like
one.
being so out of the Nintendo world now that
I'm like
I don't know.
annoyed. No, I'm
but-
actually annoyed, Walden, that you brought that up, because that's all anyone cares about with this movie, and it really
Oh, really?
bothers-
Well, I'm just so out of the
Everyone-
loop that I don't know, and I feel like blissfully
Yeah.
unaware, because like half a year ago I would have had to written to like 10 press releases about it, but now I just get
Yeah.
to be like, oh, I don't know, like let me just sip a cup of
Yeah.
coffee and ask Huber, who knows more than me.
That's like it's frustrating, because like that's the headline. And
Yeah.
that's what people want to talk about. Like,
So is it the director of this
It is.
particular movie?
Yeah,
Oh,
this
this
one,
one, not a previous
Oh.
one, or maybe previous.
this one, and he did
this
the
one,
Maze
okay.
Runner movies, which are fucking
Okay.
awesome as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's,
Are those
he's a
good?
graduate of
They're
FSU, where me and my wife went to. So I didn't know if it was this particular installment. Okay.
Yeah, West Ball.
So-
There were admittedly a couple times when I was like, this is Zelda vibes, because it's apes going into ancient structures and like ancient things, because we're so far
Well,
in the
that's
future
cool.
now.
That is
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, the vibes were
right?
just
that's
right.
honestly what's important to me.
Yeah.
The environments are more important to
Totally.
me in a Zelda movie than anything else. What are the
Yeah.
environments gonna look
Yeah.
like?
Good
Yeah.
environments in
Okay, cool,
Kingdom of the Apes,
cool.
for sure. So
Well, thank you for filling
yeah.
me in.
yeah.
Yeah,
High
yeah.
hopes, dude. That Zelda movie's gonna rip. This is gonna be good.
Great, great.
I'm bummed I haven't seen Apes yet because I had to go out of town, but like
Mhm.
it seems really cool, and like apes being like archaeologists looking back into humanity
Yeah.
seems very interesting to me.
Very, very good.
My wife Sophia loves apes. The apes movies, apes in real life. She cries every time there's a trailer for any of the apes movies. She's always just like, I'm ridiculous. Like, why am I doing this? But it's like, yeah, man.
Apes. It's always
Apes, dude.
ironic that apes have more humanity than humans at some points. Like, it's just epic. That's all.
Cool.
Yep.
Maddie Dubs, you got anything?
Yeah. So I went to see The Fall Guy,
Nice.
and did either of you see that yet?
Not
No.
yet.
It's fun, and what I liked about it, and what I wish I'd known more about before I'd seen the movie, is it's very, very, very stunt heavy, in the sense like it's like a Jackie Chan movie, where when the movie was done, they played a very, very long stunt reel where they
Oh.
showed everything that happened in the movie, were done by real stunt
That
actors.
rules.
And the director of the movie is a stunt actor who became a director
So cool.
himself. And so I had just used to most of the things happening in movies now being done by computers, because
Mhm.
it's safer and more affordable, and we don't want people to get killed, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We don't want people to get hurt. We got to do things safely now.
Matthew, I actually at the premiere of that movie, they had like some insane stunt guys getting like ripped through. Did you see that video?
Oh, fun.
no,
they
I
did
didn't.
like actual stunts on the red carpet. That's like how much they love the stunts, I guess. It's
Oh
awesome.
wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it seems like a real love letter to stunt people.
Yeah.
It
understand.
was, but I didn't know that watching the movie. So watching the movie, I was just like, oh yeah, most of this is fake, but I'm just gonna enjoy it anyway, just as a fun action comedy. And it is good on that level. But when it was over, I was like, oh, they did most of these things, and that made me appreciate it even more. So I would say if you haven't seen it yet, go into it with the knowledge that a lot of the things you're watching are actually real. They're actually setting people on fire. Thank God they're bringing that back to movies again
My
because they
favorite- my
haven't
favorite
set
thing
enough
ever.
people on fire
My
lately.
Yeah,
favorite
people don't
thing
just
ever.
Do
catch
that
on
more.
fire enough anymore.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vampire Diaries, dude. Season like 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, whatever. Someone just ignites into flames, and it's the best.
And it's all the
Shout out
liberals.
Scrooged.
The liberals don't want us to set people on fire. Thank God, stuntman. is-
PC gone
Sorry.
mad.
I should stop it. Yeah. But-
Florida's changed you, man.
But yes, Stuntman's a lot of fun. I recommend it. It's a funny movie. Yeah. And then I've been watching a lot of Babylon 5 for
Oh shit, yeah. Holy crap.
comfort watching
Ooh.
because I've seen it before.
Yeah.
And I just need something to like fall asleep to. And it's a good one if you haven't seen Babylon 5. It's one of the better
been
ones.
A
Yeah.
long
It's
time.
good. It's really good. That's it. Since
I,
last time, a lot of
so-
Babylon 5.
That's
Hell
sick.
yeah. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, which feels like a movie.
Hell yeah.
Pretty sick. A movie with a shitload of math in it. Which, math, whatever. Just like literally right now.
It's intimidating.
Yeah, it's intimidating. Literally right before we started this recording, I watched the first episode of Bodkin, which is the new. It's on Netflix. It's like a murder mystery kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I really liked the first episode. I haven't, seen where it goes, but I hope that it's good. It's got it's set in Ireland in a town called Bodkin. These two podcasters and a kind of on the rocks, I guess, investigative journalist. She's the investigative journalist is I can relate to her. She seems like she's maybe gay and also like she's just got a real bad attitude and a nice sense of fashion. So I'm like, okay, this weird little like hard femme chick into it. But she's like forced to go and help these podcasters by her boss because of reasons I don't know yet. And then these podcasters,
Mysterious.
Will Forte is one of them, and I don't know the other actor's name, but Will Forte's cool. Like he doesn't always disappear into roles for me, but in this one he kind of is more. So I'm kind of liking it. And
So is he comedic in this or is he
it's
serious? Yeah.
it's sort of like Deadlock if anyone saw that, but it's maybe a little drier than Deadlock. It's very dry, dark humor, which I really like. No surprise to anybody. Yeah. So not much to say, just saw the first episode, but into it so far. I'm liking it more than Under the Bridge, which I'm kind of bailing on, sort of. I mean, I'll probably land the plane, but teenagers are just so annoying, dude. Like,
Love teenagers.
it's like, oh, you're doing a good job, but damn it, you're so infuriating.
They follow their
Uh,
hearts, and they're also
yeah.
really dumb.
They're just, bless their hearts, they haven't developed brains yet. So, you don't make fully cogent decisions when you're
Yeah.
14 or whatever. The other one I saw, my sister, I was in up by my hometown for a funeral last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever, and I was staying at my sister's place in the cities, and she was like, let's go to a movie. I want to see this thing called Last Stop in Yuma County, which was playing at the Alamo, which weird connection. So a friend of a friend directed a movie called The Frontier, which I edited a trailer for that their company did not use. But it has the woman in it from the House of the Devil, I think,
Nice. Good one.
who was also in the game Immortality as a part. But the movie The Frontier takes place in this like hotel diner thing out in the middle of the desert. And this movie takes place in a hotel diner thing in the middle of the desert. It's been a minute since I saw The Frontier, but it might be the same building and it's the same main actor, this woman. So it's like, I was like, that's kind of weird, you know? So I was like, okay,
weird.
let's go see it. But it's bleak comedy, you know, like it was sort of like The Guest kind of vibes where it's like partway through watching it, I'm like, oh, this is a comedy. Okay. Like, you know, but it's the gas. It's the only gas station for the next 100 miles on this highway. And so a bunch of people end up stuck there waiting for the gas truck to come. But it's running late. And two of those
Sounds
people,
very Hitchcock.
I mean, it's very, yeah. And like two of the people robbed a bank.
Sick.
And so things kind of escalate from there. And it is a very interesting. I was pretty surprised by it. I hadn't heard of it. I had no expectations. You know, it wasn't like a sterling masterpiece or anything like that. But like,
yeah.
I really appreciated what it did for the budget, and like the story goes places that you don't always expect. And I don't know, I liked it. I really liked it.
Nice.
Yeah. And then my last three are some rewatches. Well, two are rewatches, and one is I only got 20 minutes in. I only got 20. We put on Madam Web.
Oh no.
just to see, you know?
Yeah.
And got about 15, 20 minutes in, started fast forwarding. Then we just bailed and instead watched a YouTube video about why it's so bad.
Oh my god.
So what was making it bad for you that made
right?
you want to eject?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I mean, I can talk about this. So right out the gate, the dialogue is the most like expositional, like schlocky, horrible dialogue like I've encountered in quite some time. The characters, they aren't characters. Like Dakota Johnson, who I'm a Dakota Johnson defender. I really liked her in Suspiria. She's in a lot of crap, and I can never fully tell if she's a great actor or not. But I liked Suspiria, so whatever. I'm like, she seems chill. But who knows? You never know. Anyway, and then and this is the thing that everyone talks about, is there's so much ADR in this movie, which stands for automatic or automated dialogue replacement, which is like, you know, if you ever like heard a line that feels like it doesn't fit in, or like, you know, you could see the side back of someone's face and their mouth isn't moving. This one, there will be characters who are just on screen and their mouth is not open or moving, and they're just saying stuff. And it's not a style choice. It's not like the Limey. It's not like a flashback. It's just
bad.
They just, yeah. Like, and people were theorizing like, okay, there were probably some reshoots, and then they just said, fuck the reshoots. We're just going to try to fix this with ADR. And the video that we watched on YouTube, it was a pretty interesting video. It's like 48 minutes long, but it's about like, why is the dialogue so weird? He was theorizing that that Spider-Man or somebody was in it and they had to cut out all of that. And then just kind of adjust lines, because like the villain has no character arc, motivation, or development. He's just kind of bad and thinks these girls are coming after him, but he never says that on screen. It's always an ADR on the back of someone else's head or something. It's so weird. I've never seen a quote unquote big motion picture, like major motion picture, that is this egregious.
They think Spider-Man was filmed and then edited around. That would be wild if that happened.
But one part that the guy was pointing to, so there's a part where he's fighting the three girls and they don't have powers yet in this version, but he was like, either in a different version of this they had powers by then but are just in plain clothes, or one of these was actually Spider-Man, because one of them gets like thrown off the thing and like lands on a beam like Spider-Man. So either she had and like she would have had spider powers. So either like she would have had powers and they just cut that out, or it was literally like they just used the previs from Spider-Man.
I mean, I'm not gonna name names, but I've been on much worse, much smaller TV shows where they've had dumber ideas than that. So
I mean,
you know,
yeah.
it's possible. It's possible where they're like, can we just make this instead? And you're like,
Yeah.
wait, you're really asking for that?
And like,
It's, yeah, it's
I don't
possible.
I don't ever like to throw shade at fellow filmmakers or whatever. And like I'm sure like a whole boatload of people on this movie were just trying to do their job and like make the best of a shitty situation
They
because it
probably
seems like
got asked to do something.
studio
Yeah,
mismanagement, like or poor planning. Like I don't think it's probably anyone's fault necessarily besides Sony, but like yeah, it was just like an incredibly not even fun bad, just like bad.
Crazy.
But I rewatched Cube last night with two friends who've never
Nice.
seen it.
Cube hype.
One of them loved it.
I've
and one of
always
them
wanted
hated
to
it.
see it. I've always
You've never
wanted to
seen
see it.
Cube?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
Oh my
always been on my
God.
list. Ever since I worked at Blockbuster, I think.
This
Like,
October,
that movie is
Matthew.
old enough
Dude.
for it to have come out when I worked at Blockbuster, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was
October's
90s,
coming
yeah.
up.
98 maybe, I want to say.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God,
Um,
and I am old enough for it to have come out when I worked at Blockbuster. Yeah. I'm revealing some facts.
For those who don't know, Cube is a 90s, very, very, very 90s movie. Very low budget, extremely, like impressively low budget for what they pulled off. Movie about some people who wake up in a cube and
Yeah.
there are rooms connected on every side and some of them have traps and they got to
Shit
figure
is
it out.
sick.
It's
And
very 999 from what I've seen in trailers.
It's
right?
basically, it's a, what are those called? The kind of games that
visual
is.
novels. Yeah.
Well, no, but the nonary games. It's basically like
yeah,
that.
specifically, yeah.
But yeah. I mean, there's some very 90s elements I kind of forgot about, but like, yeah, it's I got in on the ground floor on Cube, and
Hell
so I
yeah.
still have a special place in my heart for Cube. One of my
Same.
friends who'd never seen it loved it. One of them hated it. Cube 2 Hypercube sucks ass, but Cube 0 is actually pretty sick by my recollection. I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
Last but not least, speaking of a blast from the past, I was hanging out with my friend and my sister and her partner, and I was just like, I can't remember. Oh, because I said Miak for some reason, and then I was like,
Miak.
let's watch Ernest Scared Stupid, and then we just
Oh,
did.
hell yeah.
And
God, it scared me as a kid.
dude, that
We're talking about sequels. Ernest
it
is on my
fits.
list of sequels.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We can get into Ernest because I named my old dog was named Ernest because of these movies. I put the article when Jim Varney died on my wall. Like I was a huge Ernest fan, still am. Love Ernest. And
I have
honestly,
Ernest
dude,
on my
I am
list.
shocked at how well Scared Stupid holds up. Like
God, I loved that one as a kid.
it's good and it's funny and it has, obviously it's like for kids and like there's some dated stuff in it. Like he when he's doing his characters, like one of them is from the Ottoman Empire, so they have some makeup choices that wouldn't happen today. And like some people in the town on Halloween are dressed like Native Americans, which was big in the 90s and kind of offensive. So that's in there, but like it holds up in every other regard pretty
That's awesome
well.
to hear.
Yeah. Like, and obviously, consider the source. I love Ernest, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was still fun, still scary. The puppets and the creature designs are actually really good. The movie is like very self-aware about Ernest and how like goofy he is. Like one of my favorite lines in the movie, later on, it's like the third or fourth time that Ernest does like the montage of all the little characters that he does,
Yeah.
and then the kid, they think they've won like a small victory, and the kid goes like, thanks, Ernest, you're a great bunch of guys. And I think that's such a good line. Anyway, Ernest Scared Stupid rips.
yeah.
Camp's real good. Got a good song in there. Sure, I'm glad it's
Ernest-
raining.
Ernest goes to jail. Not the best of them, but he
Yeah.
turns into Electro Ernest, and he
Mhm.
gets that superpower, which is
Yeah.
great just for that. Yeah.
Yeah, Camp, Jail, and Scared Stupid were always my favorite growing up.
Yeah.
Jail
I didn't
was
really
a
love
big one.
Christmas, but
Yeah, Christmas is not that great. Camp is probably, it's weird because Camp quality wise is probably the highest quality, but I think
Was that the
Scared
first
Stupid and Jail are a little bit like more fun to watch just because they
Yeah.
have like higher highs. I like that we're going into this long, earnest
yeah.
discussion.
It's a sequel. It fits our
Yeah.
topic for the week. But before we get into the topic, Hubert, do you have any news?
Just that they confirmed that Deadpool and Wolverine, no matter what, 100% is rated R.
Oh, well, I didn't know
Ryan-
that was in doubt.
Ryan Reynolds just reiterated, and he's actually like, he just said he's blown away by like what Disney allowed. So he's just doing the PR rounds, but also just, you know, he was just backing it hard and saying it is extremely, it like pushes the limit for Disney.
I mean, I was shocked in the trailer when they
Yeah.
let him say, "I'm Marvel Jesus." I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, okay."
Yeah, out of control. Out of control.
I didn't watch this yet. I'm looking in our news channel here on our Discord just to see if anyone posted anything. And Uzi Suicide posted a trailer for Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person. And I need to watch that later because that's
Oh,
this is an interesting trailer or title, movie title.
The
I did-
Cronenberg reviews are out for his thing at Cannes.
Cronenberg ones?
Yeah, he's
Never-
got a new movie at Cannes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it sound good?
It sounded like sad and maybe about his wife.
I heard it was described as a
yeah.
grief thriller.
Yeah. So I really like the most recent one, the surgery one. What was that one called?
Crimes of the Future.
Yeah, Crimes of the Future. That one grew on me. Yeah, that one was really good. This one I think is called The Shroud or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for anything Cronenberg. For sure.
no matter what.
And then the new Francis Ford Coppola, that one has come out since
Megalopolis.
Megalopolis.
The reviews have come out since our last episode.
Dude,
and same thing
I
with
am
Fury Road.
Hyped.
Those reviews are starting to come out, and both of those are shaking up in interesting ways.
I've heard good things about Fury Road or Furiosa.
Or Furiosa,
heard-
that's what I meant to say. Yeah.
I've heard very mixed things about
Mhm.
Megalopolis, and also apparently like Coppola was like doing weird shit on set, like kissing PAs or some shit.
Oh, I
I don't
did
know.
see that.
I-
That was fucking weird.
Yeah,
It was
I
strange.
mean, I don't have the details. I don't know. I don't want to. Whatever. But that seems.
I mean,
not
if you're
good.
kissing people and they're complaining, that's kind of a
that's
red
not
flag.
good. Yeah,
It's kind of a red flag. Just
He recalls it like he sees them.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's so brave. How could you say something so brave?
It was a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Is it like do men just get old enough that they just start being abusive and weird? Is that how
He
it is?
probably
I don't think it's
always was.
Yeah.
He probably always was. He's just, he's like, he's old and from the era where people didn't call him out as often.
Yeah.
Not where it was okay, because it was never okay with
Right.
a large part
Yeah.
of the population.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
people didn't call them on their shit as much, so he got away with it for a while.
That's a bummer. Anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever. We don't have the facts, so we'll stop reporting them. But yeah, we'll see, I guess. Anyways,
It's
That's
developing.
coffee chat. Yeah.
developing. Yeah, it's developing. Ongoing story. We'll see what happens. Anyway, okay. So I asked our patrons at patreon.com/reaction shots, who are beautiful and wonderful, and you should join them for $3 a month.
Yeah.
You get in on the conversation. You get in on our beautiful Discord. It's a lot of fun, and I don't know. It's a good gang of peeps.
Yeah.
Not the little squishy ducks, but people,
Love
human
those
beings.
squishy ducks.
You love them?
I love those peeps.
Oh my God.
Love peeps.
It's like I don't know you at all. So
I
I
only
asked
have, like, one or
them.
two an entire year though. That's it.
Yeah, I mean that's about your allotment. You can't handle that many. All right, so I asked them this month about sequels. I asked them for their favorite sequels and sequels they thought were better than the original. I've just grouped those two into our first prompt here. Then I asked them if there were sequels that they thought ruined everything. And then we'll end with just a few random thoughts from the patrons. Yeah, to begin, what do you guys think is the best sequel?
Aliens.
The best?
The best, yeah.
The best.
Aliens is a good one. That's a tough to top.
God.
Terminator 2.
That's a good one. Blade Runner
That's a good
2049.
one. So the best might not necessarily mean better than the original, right?
Yeah.
It might just mean the one that serves its story best, right? Because there
Yeah.
can be sequels that were better than the original, but might not be the best sequel, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like The Road Warrior is a much better sequel and a just better movie. And it kind of is just like a reset almost.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Fury Road, dude. Jeez.
Well, yeah, Fury Road is like God tier.
Crazy.
Did you have a definitive best that I'm forcing you to pick, Matthew?
I'm looking, I mean, because I have a list of a giant number of sequels that I love.
GoldenEye, count it.
GoldenEye? That one was sort of a soft reboot too.
Yeah.
But obviously all the Bonds are sequels also. Casino fucking
Empire
Royale.
Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back, dude.
A New Hope's my favorite, but Empire Strikes Back might actually be the best sequel. That's a
Maybe.
fucking like flawless
It's a good
movie, I
one.
feel like. Yeah.
Andor.
Godfather
That's-
Part 2, but Part 1 is Brando, so
Mm,
I love Part
mhm.
1 the most.
Yeah.
See, I'm a sucker for those like old fuckers, man. Like Brando in Godfather 1, Alec Guinness in A New Hope.
you
they
love
carry
old
it for me.
fuckers. It's true.
Yeah, they just carry it.
Magic Mike XXL.
Dude, I've never even seen Magic Mike 1.
Dude,
But I
one's
have
the
a friend-
best.
I have a group of friends where we're like a feminist little coven, and we would get together and we would always end up watching the feminist masterpieces, Magic Mike XXL and Mad Max Fury Road. Like
As a combo.
yeah, we would watch both every time. Like we would just end up doing it.
I mean, it's so good, especially, I mean, obviously, everyone who likes this movie likes this part, but that, like, when he does the dance to Nine Inch Nails Closer, like, that just leaves me, like, I can't handle it. Like,
Yeah.
it's so funny. Like,
That's
I was
in the
just
second one?
dying. Yeah. In the second one, yeah.
I don't remember that. What's the third one called?
Last
I
Dance.
just pretend the third one doesn't exist.
I never
Yeah.
saw
Last
that. I
Dance,
haven't
I
seen
believe.
1 or 3.
It
Like
just doesn't-
Paddington,
the
I
third
never
one
saw
doesn't
1.
seem like the
Three
third one
was the
doesn't
worst.
seem like in the spirit of
I heard it was not
the
good.
series. Yeah.
They also never brought that one kid back, Pure 4 or whatever. They feuded on set. There's like some behind the scenes drama. Yeah. That guy since apologized though. He was like, yeah, I was just young and immature and Channing Tatum didn't like me.
Well, you know, it's we were talking about this like with friends, like high school friends, where it's like it's a good thing if you look back on yourself when you're
Yeah.
younger and go like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like you always want to be evolving, you know? You don't want to
Yeah.
look back and be like, I was sick as shit, you know?
Never stop learning.
That's- Yeah, never stop learning, never stop growing.
What if you do that every 2 hours though? Because that's
I mean, I
me.
guess sure.
Yeah.
Very granular growth. It's very good.
Yeah. Or you could just be like Llewyn Davis, where you're just always fucking up, and you're like, ah.
Great movie.
Oh, I
'Cause
hated
that's-
that
yeah.
movie.
Love that movie.
That like
Just let me
I-
seep in sadness, Llewyn Davis. Thank you.
But,
with a
like-
cat,
Yeah.
in your arms.
But like
Yeah.
you gotta have something to grab onto, don't you? Like
I
he
feel
was
like the
such
end
The
is
a
cat,
piece
the
of
cat.
shit.
That's what you grab
Yeah,
onto.
the cat.
I'm
for
allergic
sure.
to cats. That's the problem. I couldn't appreciate that movie because I'm allergic to cats.
That
I was
may be it.
repelled.
That may be it. Yeah, I'm trying to, like, I have a list of sequels that I love that are kind of like, you know, just my Matt shit, you know, that's just like random off the beaten path. But like
Yeah.
I like the big sequels that I think are great like fantastic, or like Superman 2. Like that is so good, and obviously
Yeah.
the
Dark
best
Knight.
part of the original
Knight.
Superman series. And Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Dream
I think
Eater.
everyone loves that, who loves the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and Frank Darabont is just like really
He's
knocked that out of
coming
the park.
back. That was
Wait,
it.
tell me what? There's
That was the
Darabont?
news. Darabont is coming out of retirement to do something I'm excited about. What was
Please
it?
tell me it's another Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
It is not.
I was just watching Red
Oh, you got me so excited there.
earlier today.
I mean, I'll be excited about whatever he's gonna do, but yeah,
Fuck, dude.
that's great news. Yeah,
He's doing something.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
such a Freddy
I'll find
Krueger
it. I'll
fan.
find it.
I have a just right here in the window. This was not planned, but is that like showing up on the screen? A Freddy Krueger
say
little
it, yeah.
pipe. Yeah,
It's a-
yeah. My
it's a
screen
Freddy
is blocked,
Krueger
so-
Hash
He's a
pipe.
Freddy Krueger pipe. My
This is
my
gonna
friend
bum
got
some
it
people.
for me for my birthday. Yeah.
Dude, that's sick. This will
I
probably
keep it
bum
in the
some people
window to
out.
cheer me up. I can't use it. Yeah, but like it's a collector's piece.
You're a madman. This will probably bum people out, but it gets me hyped as fuck. He's doing 2 episodes of Stranger Things.
Oh.
Oh, I mean, those will be good episodes of
That'll
Stranger
does, yeah, I'm
Things.
like,
Yeah.
it increases my excitement for Stranger Things. It is not as good as, you know,
A new movie from
The
Darabont,
Mist 3
Yeah.
or something.
for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, Matt, like, let us know if things are on your crazy big list, and then let us know how many never got mentioned because no one's ever heard of them at the end.
Classic.
As we go through here. So Oliver Leland will begin with their statements here. Favorite sequel, Terminator 2. Sequel better than the original, The Road Warrior. I agree.
Yeah, Road Warrior is the easy one. Easy one.
Yeah, Terminator 2, like, what can you say?
Yeah, dude, that one's tricky because Terminator 1 is so different and incredible on its own. Just like Alien and Aliens, you can pick your favorite, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like with the Road Warrior and Mad Max, it's just like definitive. This is so much better than the original.
Well, Zorgla
Like,
says
Mad Max is rough.
Zorgla says that they think Terminator 2 is a little too corny and they prefer the darker tone of Terminator 1. So yeah.
Totally
I
fine.
like part 1 better.
Part one
but
is
part
one of-
2 is incredible.
Yeah,
I've never seen part 1.
that's insane.
You're in for
That is
a
insane.
treat.
I started it when I was like 15
It's
and
unacceptable.
got bored and stopped.
It's truly
It's not a
unacceptable.
15-year-old movie.
No,
it's a in your adults movie. Yeah.
Which is weird because when I was 15, I was watching like Donnie Brasco and like all kinds of
Yeah.
other bleak shit. But like, and like Requiem for a Dream over and over again and Les Miserables and shit. I don't
yeah,
know.
that makes sense. Yeah.
I was very depressed.
that checks out.
Yeah, that tracks. Tyler Travis lists sequels they think are better than the original. Blade Runner 2049. They say, I said it. Fury Road, Terminator 2, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Silence of the Lambs, and Old Boy.
Old Boy. I was gonna ask if that counts. The Vengeance trilogy.
Yeah, because
Because
it's
trilogies count if they're thematic. I want them to count, and I want Old Boy to count.
as is the
Weaver's
rule.
like,
That
oh,
it all
wobbly.
counts.
Yeah, it all
But yeah,
counts. It
I've
all
never
counts.
thought of it as a because it's
He
it's
calls
like
it a
thematically.
trilogy.
It's
Yeah.
thematically linked to sympathy for Lady Vengeance and whatever the other one, right?
Mr. Vengeance, yeah.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Vengeance, or sympathy for whatever. Yeah, I
Whatever,
think that's what it's
however it
called.
is.
Yeah, but yeah.
Are there even like literal connective tissues, or is it just?
I think
thematic?
in the third one, there's it becomes a little bit more concrete. I don't know if there's a character that walks by, but there are definite nods where you're like, he's referencing the entire work in this,
Right, okay.
in this moment. Yeah.
Okay. What's that vague sequel of In the Mood for Love? Is that called 2049?
2048 or 2049.
2048?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
yeah,
year.
yeah.
It's a year number.
It's a year. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's
seeing-
yeah.
I remember seeing that in theaters when it came out, but I had not seen In the Mood for Love then at that time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, because the trailers showed a bunch of sci-fi stuff. So I went in, I'm like, sick. It's gonna be this beautiful sci-fi thing. And then it was like, not that.
To tell
And
you
I-
the truth, I don't know how much it would help to really see in the
No,
mood
yeah.
for love with it. It's so atmospheric.
Well, I've seen In the Mood for Love
and
now,
like,
and it's
yeah,
gorgeous, but like,
yeah.
yeah, I don't really remember it being that
Although Wong
direct.
Kar-wai does have another kind of like sequel combo, which is Chungking Express and Fallen Angels,
10 out of
which
10.
he
Oh.
filmed back to back, and that is a much better combo than In the
Those
Mood
are
for
must
Love
watch.
2048. Yeah,
I haven't seen
those
that.
are so good, so good. Yeah, I love those.
Wong Kar-wai speaks to me. Somber, melancholic vibes.
Oh my god, yeah. Somber
he's great.
tapestries for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, a true master for real.
Yeah.
Blade Runner 2049 comes up quite a few times. Raymond Wheeler III, I think I'd go with Blade Runner 2049 for favorite sequel. That's also better than the original. Also, we've made sure to keep that streak of having Blade Runner mentioned in every podcast.
Everyone.
Yeah, I actually was watching Blade Runner 2049 on the plane the other day. I like to just put movies on that I've seen and
On a plane? Yeah.
yeah, on the plane, I put movies on that I'm seeing while I'm reading or playing games. Like, I don't have the sound on. I just put the subs on and, like, it's just there. Moonlight, usually. I don't know. I find Moonlight is really good for that. And usually just visually beautiful stuff is what I throw on there.
Mhm.
And Blade Runner, yeah. And I got sucked back in. Like, I love those movies. And, like,
Yeah.
someone, we'll get into it later, had a few criticisms of 49, but, like, I think like I like it better than original Blade Runner. Also,
I did too. I did too. It has Harrison Ford's character is so rough. He's so rough to women in the first one, and that's just hard to stomach. And I know that's part of the character,
Well,
but it's
that's
just
my-
like,
yeah.
oh, I know it's a classic. I know it's a classic for so many good reasons, and I watch so many classic movies that have that same element, but I'm just saying it makes it hard for me to jump into sometimes. And it's not like there's anything wrong with the movie. It just makes the newer one a little bit more enjoyable.
Well, and that's, I mean,
Yeah.
that we've talked about it before, and like, I don't hear other people talking about it really, but like, he's the bad guy in Blade Runner, and
Yeah,
49
yeah, totally.
is interesting because the whole point of the movie is that the main character doesn't matter, and like, that's interesting to me. And like,
Yeah.
he makes the choice to do something with that knowledge, like that's cool and interesting to me. Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's
Deckard is,
that's one of your favorites, right, Huber? So I'm curious.
Which?
Blade Runner, the original, right? Don't you go to sleep watching the original? Do you have a
Oh,
preference between the two?
I like the newer one way more.
You like the newer one better too?
Oh, it's
Also,
a million times
yeah,
better.
yeah. Okay, cool.
The first one is my favorite medicine to put me to sleep.
it is pretty slow.
Yeah. And I mean that in a good way. I love the original.
No, it's a compliment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boring compliment.
The Wong Kar-wai movie is 2046.
2046.
Very close. I have data rot. You know when the old
Yeah,
ROMs like have that piece of data wrong and there's like the number glitches out. I did that with Rossellini last episode. I said he directed Bicycle Thieves, and as soon as the episode was over, I was like, "No, he didn't. Oh, wrong guy." I will do that every episode. I apologize. There'll be a little glitch. Yeah.
We are all of us human,
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I think I moved that.
I'm an android.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
With the amount of data you can store up there, I would not be surprised. An android with a heart, though.
Android.
Heart of
Cyborg.
gold. Yeah.
Love cyborgs.
Zach Wojnar came out the gate swinging, but I moved it to the next topic. So Zach Wojnar says, as for great sequels, here it comes. Billy Jack is basically a
There we go.
standalone sequel to The Born Losers, which introduced the character. However, Tom Laughlin had already written Billy Jack and only made The Born Losers, hoping it would make enough money to finance Billy Jack. That's an interesting case. Is it really a sequel? Who can say? Pearl is an incredible sequel to X. I promise we're going to watch Billy Jack someday.
Billy
I'm
Jack
sorry we
will
haven't.
go down.
Huber and I just have to be in the same place to watch a movie, which
Yeah.
like doesn't happen very much because we live not very near each other. We're not trying
I
to put
fucking
it off.
love
Zach.
Pearl. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Pearl is great. I love Pearl. 10 times better than X.
yeah, I've heard X is kind of whatever, and Pearl is pretty chill.
That's how I took it. Yeah. I like Pearl so much more.
And Maxine is coming out Oops.
Yeah. Maxine looked strange. Maxine looked totally different than either one of them. There's this
Yeah.
monologue near the end of Pearl that was just stunning. I thought she should have been nominated for an Academy Award. Wouldn't happen because horror never gets nominated, but she
Almost
should have been
never, yeah.
nominated for Best Actress.
I think
Yeah.
it's The Shaft.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, anyway, Halloween Kills is an amazing sequel to the 2018 Halloween revival. There are characters who are almost literally extras in Halloween who become major characters in Halloween Kills.
Evil Dies
Which is-
Tonight.
What?
Evil Dies Tonight.
Well, that's tonight, which is set on the same night immediately afterwards. Is it set on Halloween?
Yes.
Oh, the continuity between the two movies is basically airtight. I also really liked Halloween Ends, but that big swing of a film, is a discussion for another podcast.
It really is.
So
it
let's
really
put
is.
a pin in that for now.
Yeah, one of the biggest swings in a horror franchise of all time is Halloween Ends. My goodness.
I want to know why.
Is that David
insane.
Gordon Green?
Yeah, it's insane.
yeah,
That
yeah.
movie is insane. I fucking hated it the first time I watched it. I watched it the minute it came out. I hated it. And I just kept thinking about it. And I was like, this in like a decade plus, dude, is going to be so re-examined. It's like borderline genius. Maybe. I still don't even know, though. It's crazy.
You got me fascinated by that.
Yeah. Because it's not, the only thing I'll say is it's not what you wanted from the end of Halloween as like a Halloween fan. You want it to go right and it goes left.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like, yo, we already had the 2018 reboot, and then Halloween Kills also gave you like vicious killer Michael Myers. He has like the most kills out of any of them in that one.
yeah.
So the third one is just like, yo, we gave you kind of everything you wanted. Now we're going to do something weird. So
Crazy.
weird. So weird. You never watched
That's-
that one, Isla? I could have sworn you watched that one.
I haven't seen any of those.
Hmm.
Any of the new reboots.
Hmm.
I
I
like
found it too
the-
effectively creepy. All of the Halloween when it does the
Oh.
POV stuff.
Yeah.
The POV, I'm like, it's like it's VR. Like I had to eject immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, I finished the first one, but I was like, I can't see any more of these.
The first reboot Isla had, not Michael Zombie, Rob Zombie one, the David
yeah,
Gordon Green reboot. The first one has your horror story being in a bathroom where you like saw the eyeball.
Oh my god.
There's like some bathroom stall shit. It is
Oh,
disturbing.
That's scary.
Yeah, freaks me out.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Research bakery.
Hate that. That sounds crazy.
Thanks.
That makes me think of, TV. You don't really think about being sequels, but one thing that definitely feels like it was Twin Peaks: The Return. Like 25 years later, and like Huber was saying about Halloween, like doesn't really give you what you want necessarily, maybe kind of, but it also gives you exactly what you deserve.
It gives with one hand and takes away with the other.
Yeah,
It's
keeping
like,
on
is
the
this what
plate
you
while it's
wanted?
taking
Is
it,
this what
yeah.
you wanted?
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think TV can count as sequels. I mean, it's interesting, like the way. Have you seen Cobra Kai?
No, but
The
Sophia loves
Karate
it.
Kid? Yeah, I love it
And
too.
my friend Nick Marini is in it.
Oh, really?
He's
I don't.
young Steel or the bad guy's name, whatever. He's like a young version of somebody.
Oh, that's very cool. I mean, it's a great show, and it definitely very much works within the continuity of the movies. Like doubles down on them and treats them respectfully in a way that if you told me that, I would think, do those movies deserve that much
praise?
care and
Yeah.
attention?
Oh, yeah.
But by doing that, it just turns it into like something wonderful, actually. It's like very campy and fun, but you get invested in the characters. Talking about Cobra Kai, Huber.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, and how great it is as a
Yeah.
sequel to the Karate Kid movies.
Yeah.
It just treats it very respectfully.
Oh.
It's a fun party of a show. Yeah.
It really is. I can't
Yeah.
believe the final season, I think now, is going to be like 3 parts or something crazy.
Great. I'll take all
Yeah.
3. Give them to me.
So excited.
Yeah.
I wonder if Hilary Swank will show up.
She better.
That's the question.
That's the
question. They
series
brought
finale.
almost
You keep
everyone
that-
back. Yeah.
You keep that all the way till the literal finale.
Her and Michael Ironside are the two big questions for me.
Yeah.
From
That'd be
Total
cool if
Recall
they
and
got
Scanners.
everyone.
Yeah.
What like a total like slam dunk that would be if they get everybody. I mean, I haven't seen the show. Who's my friend Nick Huber? He's like the bad guy's younger version, I think. His name is like Steel or something.
Crease?
Mm,
Silver?
Silver.
Silver. Terry Silver.
Yeah.
Great characters.
Yeah. That's my friend.
Hell
young
yeah.
one. I should probably watch that show.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you should.
sick.
You'll enjoy it.
Support my
Yeah.
friend.
It's
I
the
just-
the
Sports stuff I'm
rare
never interested really, but
like a 30-minute show is so those are a hot commodity.
yeah.
You got to cherish those 30-minute shows because we live in an era where everything is like 55 minutes.
Oh,
you know?
God.
Everything is so long.
Yeah.
Everything's so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Uzi Suicide says the horror genre is heavily capable of producing sequels that far outshine the original. Friday the 13th parts 4 and 6, Evil
6,
Dead 2,
baby.
and Army of Darkness, Dawn of the Dead / Day of the Dead, etc. But for my money, Bride of Frankenstein is not only the best sequel ever made, but
Mhm.
also one of the greatest films ever made. True, Bride of Frankenstein
Yeah.
rips. I saw that in film school. It's been 100 years, but
It's like Guillermo
Yeah.
del Toro's favorite movie of all time.
oh, really?
Good
That makes
choice.
sense.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah.
You're
I mean,
so
she's
right,
so
though.
much cooler than Frankenstein. So
Oh, yeah.
much cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankenstein was a trial run, or the monster of Frankenstein, was a trial
Yeah.
run in a lot of ways, narratively and cinematically.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, like Hellraiser, like has good sequels and really,
Yeah.
really bad sequels. I think usually you'll talk about that in the sequels that ruined things. But yeah, like that new Hellraiser requel, I guess,
That was
reboot
sick.
sequel. I loved it. I don't know. Totalito for a good
Totalito.
long while, I considered Alien 3 to be best in the franchise. I have since come to my senses, but it's still third best for me. Mostly, I think because I think this was supposed to go after an upcoming rant that is directed at yours truly. That's a little teaser. For
Wait, you
that.
got a rant? You got a rant directed at you?
Yeah, it's not really a rant. It's just a paragraph.
How
We'll get
dare
there.
they?
We'll get
How
there.
dare
No.
they?
It's mommy respects everyone's opinions. So people just don't like. Maybe a particular set of brothers doesn't like Alien 3. We'll get to it. Willie Diaz
yeah.
says Matrix 4 is so good and meta. It was exactly what I was hoping for, a long-term sequel to one of the greatest and most self-aware sci-fi movies ever made. Ditto on Blade Runner 2049 shoutouts. I wish I could go back in time and relive seeing that movie opening night in Alamo in 4K. Instantly one of my top 4 movies of all time. Yeah, seeing Blade Runner 2049 in theaters, like the eye,
best.
starting on the eye and the synths and stuff, I almost started crying. Like,
Fucking nobody saw that shit in the theater too. It pisses me off.
it's crazy. That movie was a flop. Like
Yep.
The Thing. Like all-time classics that just bombed.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I wonder if we could do that theme for this show. Like classics
flops?
that bombed. Like
Yeah.
masterpiece flops. Would there be enough?
$180 million budget and it made 267.
Oof. 2049?
Yep.
And you may be thinking to yourself that number's higher, but movies like marketing budget is like,
Yep.
you got to double it basically.
Yeah, it lost money for
Um,
sure.
Lost money for sure. I'm sure it's made it now on rentals or not rentals, but I don't know. I hope it's made it back on
Yeah.
Blu-rays and streaming. It's so much harder to tell now because like back in the day, like rentals and home video sales were like oftentimes a movie's like bread and butter. Yeah, the landscape is so different now.
Yeah.
Matrix 4, I wished that... Was it this show that we were talking about
The action.
the conspiracy theory that they made it bad on purpose?
If the action was better, 10 out of 10. Like, the ideas are cool, whatever, but like, whether you like it or not, that franchise is tied to incredible action. It is an action movie, and the action is nothing short of terrible. It's actually terrible.
It was,
So, like, I can't defend that. I will defend the ideas, though. The ideas in that movie are cool when you think about it.
I liked what the movie was saying and going for, absolutely. And I think in that sense, like, it is a good sequel and a good examination. But yeah, the way the action was filmed definitely was not to my preference.
Not at all.
That's for sure.
It felt like a Final Fantasy side story game that you play like in between
or like a
the big
DLC.
games.
You're weirdly so right, dude.
Yeah, it's a
It's like a
DLC.
big
It's a
DLC.
Matrix DLC.
Oh
Matrix
my
DLC.
God.
It's a good DLC.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah. The budget is way less, and they just did what they could with what they had left. You know?
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
why are you so right? Zorgla says there's a few series where the second movie is my favorite by a mile. Aliens, Blade 2, Blade, Jesus. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and X-Men 2. Captain America Winter Soldier, The Bourne Supremacy, Dark Knight, and The Two Towers are also amazing sequels in consistently excellent trilogies. So true, I agree. For third entries, Die Hard with a Vengeance is almost as good as the original, and I really like Jurassic Park 3 despite the flaws. Mission Impossible also deserves a nod for the later sequels, especially Fallout.
All out, balls out.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said.
John McTiernan, that's why
Did
Die
you
Hard
say
3.
Fallout balls out?
Yeah, they went balls out on Fallout.
They did go balls out on Fallout.
Die Hard 1 and 3, the duology, you can just skip 2. It's not terrible, but you can skip it.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Jeremy Irons on part 3.
John McTiernan came back for 3.
Part 3.
1 and 3
good.
are like equal in my
I agree.
my head. Like they're just they're both perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe Die Hard edges it out a little bit because
Yeah,
Vengeance
yeah,
has
of
like
course.
a couple of like pacing fumbles, maybe.
And
If I'm,
Hans
like,
Gruber is the goat.
Hans Gruber, yeah. Like, but that's me like grasping at straws. Like that
Yeah.
those both are absolute juggernauts.
hmm
And yeah, Mission Impossible, like, talk about a legacy of pretty damn good sequels. Like 2, obviously, whatever. But
Every
like
single one though is amazing.
pretty
2
much
is whatever.
all of them are good.
Yeah.
3's good. I love
I
4.
love
Ghost
3.
Protocol.
I think they
rips.
start to pick up at 3,
yeah.
honestly.
Honestly.
That's
3
when the
is-
series
yeah.
starts
Love
to
3.
actually get going. Yeah.
Well,
Fallout
one
is,
is like
the best. I love Fallout.
Fallout is very good. I love Ghost Prot. Ghost Prot. I'm a big Ghost Prot fan.
Hell yeah.
But like, you know, 1 is so De Palma. It's so paranoid. It's
Stark.
so it's an excellent movie.
Yeah.
and
the
then-
vibe of the first one, Isla. My goodness.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's unparalleled. And then like 3, you're totally right, is like the birth of what Mission Impossible kind of continues to be today.
Mhm.
Because like it's obviously a big departure from 1, and it's kind of gotten more and more actiony and stunty, and you know. But damn it, I love Mission.
One of
I
my
don't
favorite
care.
Philip Seymour Hoffman roles.
Oh my God, yeah.
Incredible.
He's so good. He's having
I'm gonna
fun.
find her.
I feel like he had fun in that.
I'm gonna
He was having-
hurt
yeah.
her.
He was having such a good time. Yeah. I hope he was having a good time. He seemed like he was having fun in that. Yeah.
His face when he's like forcing him to read those words so that they can spoof his voice. He's just
Yeah.
so pissed, but he's like doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So good.
Oh,
That and Punch Drunk Love seemed
my
like
God.
some of him at the top of his game. Yeah.
and Twister.
Yeah. Twister also.
Great Twister. That's no moon. That's a space station. We had a really funny. Was that on Mysterious Monsters, Hubie? Where we had, I think it was a trickster question or something, but it was what is That's No Moon? That's a space station from? But we had you deliver it the way he did.
That's so great.
And so then it was the real answer was not Star Wars, but it was Philip Seymour Hoffman quoting Star Wars in Twister.
So good.
Anyway, Sage Mode Q, I've got to throw some animation love into this discussion. Please do. Not only are Shrek 2 and Toy Story 2 excellent movies,
Great call.
but I believe they're also vastly improved on the originals. Hard agree on Shrek 2.
Shrek 2, incredible.
Toy Story 2 I only saw in theaters and I remembered not liking it, but I really liked 3. I'd
Oh
have to
my God,
rewatch
Toy Story
2.
3.
I don't remember. Toy Story 3 is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They accept death.
Yeah, it's the
In a
best.
kids movie about toys. We've talked about it blue in the face, but Shrek 2 is excellent and does probably improve on the first. Shrek, dude.
Shrek.
1 and 2
2
are both very solid movies.
Do you know the Muffin Man
The Muffin Man?
who lives on Drury Lane?
Oh, yes, I know the Muffin Man. I can't remember the end of that.
Same. It's been a while.
Not my buttons! Not my gumdrop buttons! he cries and at one point he's like, yes, I know the Muffin Man. Torture is fun. Garrett Hallfish, I'm heavily biased, but every Toy Story is a 10 out of 10. If Pixar wants to make Toy Story 4000, I'll be there for it. But
Pretty
seriously, it's incredible to see how far animation has come. With each squeakquel and each entry has touched me in a different way. Yeah, dude, when he goes off to college in 3, that's
So
emotional
heavy.
shit.
Big time emotion.
That's the end of 3, right? Spoilers, sorry.
It's been a while.
Hardcore stuff. Yeah. What is it? It's so funny for a company that swore when they started that they would never do sequels, that they're
is
now
funny.
just
I
like
forgot
sequel
about that.
engines.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pixar was like, no, we don't do sequels, and now they've done like 1 billion of them. And they're all good. Well, not all of them, but like generally they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I did not like The Incredibles 2. I thought that was
That was a
active.
bummer. Yeah.
But yeah,
That
Incredibles
was a
1
big
is,
bummer.
is incredible. My favorites. Beto's Burrito says, favorite sequel, Gamera 3 Revenge of Iris. The 90s Gamera movies are peak kaiju cinema.
Sick.
I'm aware of Gamera, but I don't think I've seen one.
Oh, Gamera. Yeah.
Gamera, okay.
Gamera. Yeah. The like turtle
Gamera.
thing. Gamera.
Yeah. I don't know much about it. I said it wrong even.
I probably said it wrong too. So I know him from like the Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing.
Right.
And so they probably pronounce it wrong. They have this little song like Gamera is really neat.
Gamera.
He is full of turtle meat. Do you know the song?
I don't.
We believe in Gamera. Yeah, and he would like fly through the air. Yeah, it was one of the first Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, doesn't he like
episodes I ever
spin
saw.
through the air?
Yeah.
I mean, Sophia loves Godzilla.
I bet, yeah, I was gonna say, I bet Sophia knows how to pronounce it because she
So, I
watches
mean-
a lot of kaiju stuff. Yeah,
If it's Japanese, wouldn't it just be like Gamera?
yeah, that's
Gamera.
probably right. Is it Gamera?
Yeah.
it's probably that. Yeah.
It's like camera, but with a G. And they say the sequel that's better is Before Midnight, Linklater's best in their opinion.
Mm.
Those movies are like one of my biggest cinematic blind spots. I haven't seen them, and I feel bad about it every single day. I had my friends Nick and Max Folkman's copy of it for years, of all 3, the Before trilogy, and then I finally just gave it back because I was like, I
Damn.
haven't watched.
Gotta have a full day. Watch them all.
Oh yeah.
Like a Sunday
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah,
They
fully.
get a little intense as they go on, like
Yeah.
when they're like adults like into their like I don't know how old they get, like 50s maybe.
Don't
in the
spoil
later
them. I mean,
ones.
I know the premise.
I
But
mean,
like,
they're old as actors when the movies
Yeah,
are
yeah,
made. So,
I mean, I've avoided watching them because I was afraid they'd be depressing.
I know. I won't say more, but they're worth watching. Yeah,
Okay.
they're not complete bummers. Yeah.
Okay. Pulphead says The Mummy is one of my all-time faves, and I think The Mummy Returns is an underrated sequel and adventure flick. Sure, it doesn't reach the heights of the original, but with the incredibly charming return of Rachel Weisz, Brendan Fraser, Arnold Vosloo, and John Hanna. Who cares? The introduction of the sun was a great move to add stakes and an emotional core. It's too bad the series never recaptured the same magic as films 1 and 2, but that also speaks to their greatness. I'd say 2 is definitely better than the rest of the sequels, I mean. Nothing
only
beats the
3,
Mummy
right?
1. Well, it depends on how you count it. There's the Mummy,
Scorpion King.
there's the Mummy 3, and then there's like 300 Scorpion King movies.
Yeah. They don't count
So,
those.
and then there's the Mummy reboot, but
Yeah.
and of course the Mummy from like the fucking 30s or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah,
The Mummy 1, the best.
everyone's sexual awakening, the Mummy 1.
Yeah. Culmination. I just sent you something about this.
Yeah, I think you did. It was like
Yeah.
the like bisexual like masterpiece.
Just yeah, the Mummy 1 is just like the most beautiful people ever.
Yeah,
It's like fuck.
everyone looks
Yeah.
great. The Mummy Returns. Rachel Weisz has some great stuff in there. The fight with that other girl, good stuff.
Yeah, I forgot.
Obviously, the
she's actually
CG
in
is hot
2.
garb, but
She bounces for 3. I remember that pissed me off.
yeah, it was
Good move on her part though.
is it Haley Atwell in the third one?
No.
Or no, it's somebody whose name I don't recall. Colt Smith. Ooh, baby, love me some sequels. Okay, first let's talk Batman Returns. Quite possibly the greatest of all sequels. We got more mood, more character, more depth, and we got some sexual awakening fodder. Top tier stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've told this before, but I kissed the Michelle Pfeiffer poster so much it wore off when I was a kid. I would kiss the Michelle Pfeiffer part before bed. I'm a freak, I guess.
I love it.
Tender, just, you know, a little peck.
Just a little good night.
I was like 9 or something, you know. You know, do I want to be her? Do I want to be with her? Yes. Catwoman, my hero. I'd then really like to throw out some Aliens, because you know damn well that's one of the greatest films of all time, sequel or no. My favorite
Damn
sequel
right.
of all time, though, is probably Kurosawa's Sanjuro, the sequel to Yojimbo. It's a slower and more deliberate film, but damn, it has all the mood. And the duel at the end is maybe the most spectacular thing of all time, and likely birthed all of anime. It's so long since I've seen that one. But I mean, Kurosawa is just like a genius. So what are you gonna do? As for sequels that do it better than the original, I think all 3 of these do it better and really deserve to gain all the praise in the universe. But alongside these, I gotta shout out Terminator 2, Two Towers, Empire Strikes Back, John Wick 4, Skyfall, Mad Max Fury Road, and damn near all the Mission Impossible films, and recently Godzilla -1. Hell yeah. And some that maybe aren't as good as the original, but are still damn great in their own right and deserve some discussion, like Nightmare on Elm Street 2, The New Nightmare, New Nightmare, Friday the 13th 2, Indy and the Last Crusade, and Top Gun Maverick. Oh yeah, fuck. How is Top Gun Maverick taking this long
Top
to come
Gun
up? That
Maverick.
movie rules. Never seen Top Gun. Maverick is sick as shit though.
Top Gun's fine.
Yeah, I mean whatever. It seems like some kind of 80s trash, but like Maverick was
It's
sick
good.
as shit.
I
so
mean,
who
it's
knows?
good in the same way that Top Gun is, you know, it's the same kind of trash that Top Gun is, which they're both amazing.
Yeah.
Like, but it's no different. Like if you like Maverick, you will like the first Top Gun.
Oh,
They're very similar. I think.
okay.
Like I love both of them. They're both
Yeah.
incredible movies.
I'm not too hot on the first one.
You don't like the first one?
I don't hate it.
Humor made me skip it.
I don't hate it. I think it's just fine.
I want to talk
Wow.
about Skyfall.
I think it's just fine. Did you watch it when you were younger, Matthew?
Oh, that probably influenced it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That probably influenced it. Yeah.
Goonies
It's like-
situation.
It's like Labyrinth or Goonies. You had to be there.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you weren't there,
Yeah.
you won't like it probably.
I watched it way late. Way late.
But the second one was good enough that you didn't need the early memories to
Yeah.
carry
Mhm.
forward. That's very interesting.
I've never seen
um,
one, and I thought Maverick was incredible.
That's interesting. Yeah. Because
I mean,
I found
you know.
I found them to be so similar. And I was thinking like, oh, my nostalgia from the first one is what's carrying me through to the second one. But it's
Right.
interesting that you don't need that component for the second one, but you do need it for the first one. Yeah,
You do get more out of him playing the piano, though.
That was the
Yeah,
only
that
part where I was
moment,
like, this
yeah.
must be a reference to
Some
something
emotional
in the
impact.
Yeah.
Why don't I like Skyfall as much as everybody else?
Skyfall.
The theme song doesn't go hard enough, that's for sure. But like, I don't know.
Love
Like, I don't
Skyfall.
hate it. It's not bad, but it definitely wasn't. Maybe I need to rewatch it. No, I did. I
never know.
rewatched all of them.
Oh, shit.
I mean,
You never know.
they're all cool. Nothing compares to Casino Royale, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it loses a little steam when they get to the house
I feel that.
when it's grown up home alone,
I
which is
feel that.
sick. But
That is cool.
Jason Wojnar says Lethal Weapon 2 is probably the sequel that surpasses the original in every way.
What?
Where the first one is
No!
more straightforward buddy cop drama with some
No.
humor. Lethal Weapon 2 is an all-out action comedy romp, though it's
Comedy,
not
here we
devoid of
go.
drama
Yep,
as
Joe
well.
Pesci, get the comedy in there. Dude. Nope. Nope.
I've never seen any Lethal
Dude,
Weapon.
one is so fucking amazing. It is so dark. It deals
Lethal
with
Weapon
like,
1 is heavy. Lethal
it is heavy,
Weapon
dude. It deals with
is
like
heavy. It's
suicidal
weird.
shit, man.
Yeah,
like
it's-
living at the end of
It's-
your
it's
rope,
very weird, yeah.
dude. Love Lethal
and then the
Weapon. one.
dark
sequel
and
is just a
weird, yeah.
comedy? That's
You get
kinda
Joe
weird.
Pesci in there, and things get really hilarious.
Closest I've come to Lethal Weapon is in Maverick when they look at each other and
Yeah.
it plays the like slightly plays the theme from Lethal Weapon, and they're both like,
Two has one of the greatest lines ever, though, about diplomatic immunity.
I remember
all I
diplomatic
remember.
immunity came up like all the time in the 90s.
Yep. It's huge in Lethal
That and
Weapon 2.
Quicksand. I
Yeah.
thought that these two would factor into life a lot more. I've seen a lot of people say that recently. Like, I thought Quicksand would factor into my life a lot more as an adult, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, as a kid, they
That was
really,
big.
they really harped about Quicksand a lot
Yeah. You're
in the
right.
'80s and '90s. Cotolito says, "I think I said Ouija, or Origin of Evil was my favorite last time we talked about sequels. So this, have we done sequels before? I checked. So this time I'll go back. Every time I say a theme, I have to go back and look at the entire
Yeah, did
list
we?
of episodes we've done to make sure we haven't already done it before. So this time I'll go with Back to the Future 2. Wait, what was the theme we said we were going to do earlier that now I've forgotten? It was, masterpieces that flopped.
Ah, yes.
I'll have to come up with a way to phrase that, but okay. Anyway, I'll go with Back to the Future 2. Yes, it's messier than the first movie, but I would argue
Loved.
that it has more iconic and influential moments. The hoverboard, Jaws 19 hologram, the sports almanac, the
Sports
fashion,
Almanac, dude.
the playing with your hands is for babies comment. It really has a great sequel. It really is a great sequel that builds so well in the first movie while taking it in a wild new direction. I love it to pieces. Honorable mention, Pacific Rim Uprising for Huber.
Yeah.
Yeah, Back to the Future 2 is great.
Back to the
It's
Future 2 rips.
Love 2.
I-
I like 2
I-
more as a kid, I think.
I
all
liked it more
three.
as a kid, and I like it more now. So, I like it all the way
Two-
through.
Two is maybe two is the most fun, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't have the weird stuff with the mom as much. Like,
Yeah.
no, please
a little
don't
bogged
make
down in
out
the
with
incest
me.
in the first
yeah,
one, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's more of an enjoyable watch that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
and
love all
think-
three of them. I like
Yeah.
3 too. Nobody ever likes 3, but I do.
I remember when I was a kid, it was like kind of like one of the first big sequels I got into, where I was like, I like the first movie, and they're making more.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It gave me the idea that like sequels were gonna be better, like just
Yeah.
more of the thing you like. And then it took me a while to realize that maybe sequels weren't better or that people didn't like them. But for a while, I was just convinced. I just bought into marketing, like, yeah, 2 is better, or
Yeah,
3
it's
is
more.
even better than 2. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember my first experience with that, like as a kid, like understanding that sequels were a thing and that people were really excited about them, is we were waiting around there was a line down the block in my small town, 2,000 people in the town, population, St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. The Falls 5 movie theater down in the corner that's not there anymore. It's demolished. The line was out the door and up the hill for Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Oh my god.
And it's sold out. Pretty wild.
When nature calls.
That movie, that sequel's much better than the first because it's not really offensive. And it's just got a lot of fun bits in it. I don't know. The Slinky's
I gotta run
hilarious.
that back. I gotta run that back.
I mean, he's like a full cartoon character in that second one. As Will Zapruder says, Godfather Part 2. This is an interesting one because overall I like it a lot more than Part 1, but it doesn't work without knowing Part 1 because both De Niro and Pacino's characters and arcs are dependent on us being able to compare them to the Vito we know from 1. Addams Family Values. I think I've seen Addams Family once, but I've watched Addams Family Values at least a dozen times. I miss when Joan Cusack was in everything. Hell yeah. Dude, I love the Addams Family 1 and Values, but like Values is an excellent sequel. To me, they're both like on par with each other. Values has some great bits though. Paddington 2, obviously. I don't know if anyone on the panel has ever heard of this, but it's pretty good. Paddington 2 is a perfect film.
Oh, Paddington.
Paddington 2, perfect film. Never seen the first one.
Paddington.
But I love Paddington. I actually have Paddington right above me here. My dad got me for this in Paddington Station when I was 2. And I still have it.
Sick.
This is an original Paddington Station, Paddington Bear. Yes. I am very pleased with that. Paddington.
That's fucking awesome.
I still have it. He's just so sweet. The Great Muppet Caper. Before there was Hugh Grant in Paddington 2, Charles Grodin gave a masterclass on how to fully commit to the premise and tone of a movie starring talking animals. That said, while looking this movie up on Wikipedia, I did find this quote from the LA Times review. Muppets don't belong in a caper movie. They are interpreters of character, relationship, and the human condition. Whoa. Looking at those last 3 examples, it seems like a good villain can help a sequel.
Villains are key.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
ZF.
so taken in by your Paddington. That's amazing.
I know.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
I'm like, check out my Freddy weed pipe, and you're like, here's this Paddington that I got from the original Paddington Station. Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, you could probably smoke weed out of it if you tried.
No, I would never.
He's got wellies, you know. You could bore
Yeah.
a hole into one of his boots and pack it with weed. I've never tried grass. We would never do that to you, Paddington.
We will protect
He
you.
can take a
Paddington.
What a
drink.
great
We'll
souvenir.
protect you. Oh no, I know, right? I'm so like proud of it.
You've seen that meme, right, Isla, where they Photoshop Paddington into
Yeah.
every movie every day? That's the best.
It was like that account that was like, I Photoshop Paddington into a movie until I
Yeah.
forget. Like every
Yeah.
day until I forget.
Yeah.
ZF says, I think the most interesting sequels are the ones that manage to be just as good or even surpass the original when they come out several years later. Some key examples would be Blade Runner 2049, Top Gun Maverick, Puss in Boots The Last Wish, and Mad Max Fury Road. Dude, Puss in Boots The Last Wish is sick as hell. That movie rules. Also, Fury Road is a sterling masterpiece for sure.
Hard to beat.
Hard to beat, yeah. A category of sequels that doesn't quite fall into better than the original or ruined everything would be the ones that had cool ideas. I put this here because it's kind of a transition into our next topic, but they're the ones that had cool ideas, but not that great of execution. I would put the Matrix sequels, Pirates of the Caribbean sequels, and Star Wars prequels into that category, says ZF. On the topic of prequel sequels, man, isn't it incredible how Better Call Saul turned out? Or how great
Yeah.
Better Call Saul turned out.
Really is unbelievable how well that turned out, actually.
I liked El Camino. I thought El
I liked
Camino
El
was
Camino
good.
Yeah, I liked El
Yeah.
I put off watching it because I was like, I don't need to see that. I
Yeah.
don't need to see what happens, but it was
the
good.
show
It
ends
was
so
good.
perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah. I was nervous about it. But it's
Yeah,
all
it
good.
was cool.
It's crazy.
Oh.
But yeah, that's a great point about how often sequels like they aim high and miss sometimes. Like the Matrix 4 maybe, or Matrices 2 and 3 also. But you can't really fault them for trying, right?
Do you ever
Totally.
like not watch a sequel because you like the original so much? Like, have you ever like still not seen a sequel because you're like, I don't want to fuck up the original?
Yes.
I
Definitely
love the
true
original
with-
too much.
Yep.
That's definitely true with the first ones. Like, I haven't seen Paddington 1 because I love Paddington 2 so much.
Oh, weird. So
Uh,
in reverse.
It's
I
in reverse.
know it's a 10. I know I would be obsessed with it. I've said this before, but I will not watch it. Dr. Sleep.
Oh, so
Oh.
Doctor
Yeah, I just
Sleep
won't
is
do it.
good.
I know it would. I know
I've seen
heard
it and I
sounds
liked it.
I know what you mean, though. You want
Yeah.
Shining to stay
Yep.
in the
on
Shining
its
bubble.
own. On its own.
I know what you
I
mean.
keep
Yep.
telling him
Can't
that
do it.
it's
Can't do it.
very different, but
Can't
I
do it.
respect your choice.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
There's
though.
only so much Kubrick, you know. I just
yeah,
can't
you
fuck
don't
with
want it to bleed
anything.
in. You
Yeah.
don't want it to bleed in because
Yeah. Not
at
someone
all.
else made that. Someone else made that.
But wasn't
Yeah.
it Mike Flanagan or who?
Yeah, it's funny,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
know I would
Yeah.
love it. I know I would.
It's a
love
good
it,
movie,
but
dude.
It's good.
Rebecca
It's good.
Ferguson's in it.
Then from that point on, there would be a 0% chance I could ever not think of Doctor Sleep when I'm watching The
I know what you
Shining.
mean.
And
You
I don't
want a
want that.
Faraday cage is
Yeah.
what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want
I
any
get it.
Doctor Sleep coming into my Shining watch.
So
Too precious.
for me, it's the movie The 400 Blows.
Hell yeah.
With Antoine. So I don't know how to say his name because I can't speak French. I can barely speak English. But the kid. I
Yeah.
don't want to say how 400 Blows ends, but it ends in a beautiful way. But there are a whole series of movies that Truffaut made with the kid in 400 Blows, and he grows up and lives a life. And I don't want to. I can't see it. Like I've never
Yeah.
gone on to see it. I'm like,
It's
I
the
know
same
they're
character?
probably good. Yeah, I know
Oh, wow.
they're based on that character, and I think with the actor too. But I can't do it. I like 400 Blows too much. I don't want to see what happens to that kid. What happens to that kid is what happens at the end of that movie. To me, like
Yeah.
I've imagined what his life is. I don't want to see it in a movie. Yeah,
I concur.
What
like
if
The
everything
Shining.
you imagined
The
is
Shining ends at the
exactly-
end of The Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you saying
think-
what if everything that happens is what I imagine?
Yeah. What if Truffaut did exactly everything you thought?
Uh,
All right. Now let's talk about sequels that ruined everything.
Here we go.
Zach Wojnar. Here we go. This is the aforementioned rant.
Okay.
All right, Isla, let's get this part over with. Alien 3 is trash, and the assembly cut is even worse. Hey, you know that trash movie Alien 3? What if it were insufferably long and every single character had the exact same haircut so you couldn't tell anyone apart? Look, I respect a big swing, and some of my favorite sequels are big swings, but when you take a big swing, sometimes you miss, and Alien 3 missed. And then Jason Wojnar chimes in and says, Alien 3 ruined everything. Not David Fincher's fault, but the movie is trash no matter how you cut it.
Jeez.
My
I wouldn't word it so harshly,
No,
but
I mean,
I don't like Alien 3.
I think they're being maybe a little tongue in cheek, but like, it's the third worst Alien movie, which still puts it third. Like, I've never said otherwise. Like, I like
okay,
4,
yes,
but
yes. I agree with
I
you,
like
yeah.
4 a lot, but I think 3 is
Yeah.
a little better than 4.
Mhm.
And all
Yeah,
of them are
probably.
better than Prometheus and Covenant, because Prometheus and Covenant are trash. Covenant is trash. Prometheus is so beautiful visually that it's not trash, but like Covenant is absolute insufferable garbage.
Yeah.
I might put Prometheus above 4. I might put
Four
Prometheus
to
above
me
4.
4 to me is saved because what's his name? Just the Frenchness of it all is so charming and strange that I really appreciate it for that. Like, it's so fun. Like, 4 is a comedy almost, and also very, very dark. But like, I really like some of the story elements in 4 and just how weird and French it is. Plus when she makes the basket and then Ron Perlman almost breaks and goes, "Oh shit!" Like,
Oh yeah.
it's great.
Got
She
good
actually
action.
did that.
I love a good mercenary crew in space as
Yes.
well.
Yeah, and 4 has that in spades.
Yeah.
Anyway, look. Of the original Alien tetralogy, they're all better than Prometheus and Covenant.
They really
and
are.
you can kiss my ass
I agree.
on that.
You can kiss
I
my
hope
ass, too.
Romulus is good,
Kiss
but
his ass, kiss her ass, kiss your ass, kiss my ass.
Get
Happy
in line.
holidays.
Get in line.
What is that from?
Christmas Vacation.
oh yeah.
Kiss his ass, kiss her ass, kiss my ass. Just like everyone walking by. Prometheus looks gorgeous.
Prometheus visually incredible.
I've been to that waterfall in Iceland, the beginning of the movie.
Shit.
Oh
Stood
yeah,
right there.
Iceland's cool. I think I've been to that too. I've been to some. They have so many waterfalls. I get
And yet
mixed up.
neither of you threw yourselves in to create a new race of future humans.
I just don't know why.
It was tempting.
I just don't know why these scientists are touching everything. I can't do it.
Dude, they're all fucking we've talked about this
Yeah,
before,
I don't want to
but
do
they're all
this. I don't
fucking
want to go down
morons.
this road. Yeah.
The map
No,
guy
thank
gets
you.
lost. The exobiologist is afraid of aliens.
Yeah.
Like, that's your fucking job.
Yep.
Oh, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Ridley, stop. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Just sit on your sack of money and play with your grandkids. Fuck. Sorry.
agree. I agree.
Anyway, that was harsh, but whatever. The Wojnars, they came after me.
Yeah.
The assembly cut is fine. Obviously,
It really
no,
is.
3 is not good, but it's like fun and interesting.
Yeah.
And like it's an interesting case study on studio interference.
Totally,
enjoy.
dude. And it's a very important movie because it's David Fincher's
Fincher's first.
debut.
Yeah. And like to
It's
see
fun.
a nascent David Fincher operating in a hostile studio system, trying to make something good when
Mhm.
everything is trying to stop him. That to me is an interesting exercise and why I like 3.
Yeah.
But it's still, yeah, tied with 4 as like third best Alien, maybe slightly better than 4. But like Alien and Aliens are like, in first place. They've lapped all the rest of them on the little
Truly.
Mario Kart map,
Going
and then
down
all
in
the rest
history.
are like 6 laps behind. And then Prometheus and Alien Covenant, like their switch is caught on fire, killing everyone in the house. Like, that's the Aliens franchise. Cotolito says, for sequels that ruin everything, I think Prometheus and Alien Covenant combined. Yes. Not because they're terrible, but because they mess up the lore and origin of the xenomorph. Yes. I now have 3 separate canon timelines for the Alien franchise just to stay sane. The first is the theatrical cut of Alien, followed by Aliens and 3, with Resurrection as a distant offshoot. The second is Alien, followed by Aliens and the Dark Horse comics that ran from 1988 to 90. Those were crazy. In which Ripley, Hicks, and an adult Newt fight the aliens both on Earth and their homeworld. I need to reread those. I think I read them at like a friend's house in like the Alien Omnibus or whatever. Yes, it is precisely as epic as it sounds, and the aliens have psychic powers. The third timeline starts with Prometheus and ends with the alternate cut of Alien because the alien queen in Aliens makes no sense after what happened in Covenant, but the Dallas egg does. Yeah, Prometheus and Covenant fuck everything up so bad. And like they fuck everything up in a way that doesn't even make sense with Ridley's own movie. Anyway,
Moving on.
I guess maybe it works with Alien, but like
Yo, Alien Romulus though gonna be fucking sick.
hope it's good, dude.
Dude,
I just hope it's not just like jump scare horror schlock. I hope it's actually
Don't-
thoughtful.
Don't Breathe and Evil Dead remake, 10 out of 10, same director, and Kaylee Spinney is fucking amazing. She was in Devs and Civil War. Everything
Oh.
about it. Everything about it's good.
Okay.
Everything about this
Alright.
movie's good.
All right.
High hopes.
All right.
And Ridley Scott is not behind the camera. That's double points right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, didn't he say like, or no, that was Noah Hawley for the show. He was like, yeah, I talked to Ridley, but I have no use for his lore. And I was like, thanks, Noah. I love Fargo. So, and at first I thought Fargo was a blasphemous nightmare. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, these are sick. Because I love the movie. Anyway, Oliver Leland says, lukewarm take, but I do not enjoy Highlander 2.
There can be only one.
Yeah, there should be only one. Raymond Wheeler III says Space Jam 2 ruined everything. I never saw it, but I've seen clips. I think Cosmonaut Variety Hour Marcus did a video on it, and yeah, it doesn't seem great. Uzi Suicide 666, the horror genre again has plenty of bad sequels. Halloween 6 is one of the worst movies ever made, followed by closely by Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yeah, the second Rob Zombie one. Rough.
You watch those and you might not be able to conceive children afterwards. They'll make you sterile or barren. Whoa. That was Devil's Rejects for me. Yeah. There's some real bad Hellraiser sequels. Like the one where the guy's like a detective. And it's all
number
like
2 or 3 or
no, I think that's like
Not 2.
6.
Okay, so it's deep.
It's way in there. Maybe
Okay.
5. It's weird. It's weird. But I rented it like a bunch of times as a kid. Maybe it's not sucky. I don't remember. Cube 2 Hypercube sucks out loud.
Cube 2
but
Hypercube, dude.
Cube 0 rips though, if I recall.
But Cube 2 Hypercube is one of the best titles of any movie ever.
Cube 2 Hypercube.
Cube 2 Hypercube. It's just so fun to say.
It's an incredible title.
God.
And the idea of a hypercube would be sick if they didn't cop out in the movie. They cop out. It sucks. Don't watch it. Betos Burrito says sequels that ruined everything. Mockingjay Part 1. Felt like this killed the YA dystopian genre in the 2010s. Just
I've
because
read
they
all the
split it?
books and I've seen all the movies twice. That's how big of a fan I am.
I like them. I like.
Yeah, I don't hate
Mockingjay was like the finale, right?
Yeah,
Well, they
And then
split
there's
it
the
in two.
Harry Potter thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which fuck Harry Potter, but they split the finale in 2 parts. I liked it, and I liked. Well, this will get into spoiler territory, but I like how they handled the revolution and the path it took. So.
Yeah.
It did cool, interesting things. For a YA novel, I was like, this is getting complex into Marxist theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It
was
does
like,
get
oh,
surprising.
well done. Yeah.
Into surprising territory. Shout out to my favorite internet boys, Mr. Sunday Movies. They do a good run on the Hunger Games movies. Check them out. Caravan of Garbage.
Check them out.
Oh, but what was this critique? I didn't mean to get sidetracked. Their critique of Mockingjay.
They just didn't
Part
like
1. They
Mockingjay
didn't
Part
like
1.
it. Okay.
They think it killed YA dystopian genre in the 2010s, which like timing wise is kind of right because like it did kind of take a dive after that, if memory serves. Everyone was trying to do it with Divergent and whatever,
which are solid. And again, those Maze
loves
Runner
Maze Runner.
movies, the fucking the Scorch Trials. I think it's number 2. It's from Wes Ball. We were just talking Kingdom of the Apes, Zelda. It's the second one. I think it is like The Last of Us.
I'm
It
a
is
sucker for the whole
epic.
genre. The YA dystopian genre. Give it to
Same.
me. I love it.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun
I saw
deal.
Maze
The
Runner
100,
1,
all of it.
I liked
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Somebody is just going off on their horn outside. Or it sounded like they were manually just going beep, beep, beep. Anyway, Colt
The
Smith.
Hunger Games are starting.
Yeah, the Hunger Games have begun. Colt Smith, to keep this positive, I won't dwell as long on the Ruiners, but like Marvel post Endgame, waves arms frantically, AVP, and I'll call it there before I get too carried away. Thanks again for the continuing adventures of the best podcast on the net. Oh, thanks. In the verse and across the 6th dimension. Oh. Thanks, Colt. Yeah, AVP,
Thank you.
damn. Those movies could be so sick and they're just not.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
The Predator series Predator 2 is pretty sick in its own
Predator's
way.
doing really well. I've always backed Predators. Fucking love
Predators
that.
is sick.
And then of course,
Prey is sick.
Yeah.
I never saw The Predator,
Worst one.
which because you told me it was Garbo, so I didn't watch it. I like all the
Garbo.
other ones.
And takes a lot for me to get offended in a movie, specifically a movie. It takes a lot for a movie to really offend me. You can offend me in real life fairly easily if you say some crazy ass shit like
Yeah,
so
he's
many
a-
people do.
He
But
was a little
the Predator,
soy boy. He's very sensitive.
The Predator is it's rough. It's a rough one.
What offended you in The Predator?
The ending message is like really messy. It feels weird.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was like all kinds of drama about that movie, and like I
Yeah,
just
it's a
heard it
weird
was
one.
really bad, so I was like, okay, I won't waste my time.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're into our final little category here, which is I usually just say anything else, and people just say
Anything else?
whatever they want. Betas Burrito says apes and apes. Two small apes.
No, you
Apes
said it so much better the
and
first time.
apes. Two small
In
pair.
Slack.
Apes
No,
and
you-
apes.
In Slack, you were like, 2 small primates.
Oh yeah. Two small primates. Apes and apes. Listen, Maverick is a great movie.
Hell yeah.
All things in real life notwithstanding, like Mel
Yeah.
Gibson's a weirdo, but like, god
Classic
damn it,
film.
Maverick is great. The game. Even though Betas Burrito says, even though it's the most recent movie, Dragon Ball Superhero is my favorite piece of Dragon Ball media. Rip Toriyama.
Yeah, rip.
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 Did Roger Corman also die recently?
Yeah.
it's a bummer.
Yeah.
I met him once.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to how Ian McKellen says Charles in X-Men. Sorry. Sorry.
Dude, I say
Yeah, that
Charles all
was-
the time because of that.
Just came
Yeah.
to me. I just was
I call
vibing
all my friends
I was
Charles.
wondering, following the connection. I was like,
Yeah. Jason Wojnar, speaking of great sequels, when I saw John Wick 4, a woman a few seats to the side of me was using her phone to illuminate her food, and it was shining right in my peripherals. When I told her to put it away, she went absolutely ballistic, X versus ever. Cute. Cursing at me, calling me names. I dare
That's
not
the
repeat.
problem with society. When
writing
someone's
or-
doing
this
something
is-
wrong and they go
Yeah.
0 to 100 defensive and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
in the wrong.
They're in the wrong. Yeah. While I sat back down in my seat, a man came out of another theater hall and was screaming into my auditorium, "Yo, pop out, bro." And the woman was still yelling and shining her phone onto the theater screen and trying to point me out to the person who was either her boyfriend or brother, I guess.
That's scary.
The two were kicked out by security. My
Thank
mother, who
God.
was there with me, was actually very impressed that I kept my cool during the whole ordeal. Jesus.
That's
fucked up.
insane.
Yo, pop out, bro.
Pop out, bro.
Pop out, bro.
so that's what I'm always worried about.
Holy
If-
shit.
you know, there's that like, and
Oh, no.
Jesus.
that famous Seinfeld episode where George tells someone to be quiet.
Yeah. Oh, I never
and,
do it. I
and
can't.
like, I'm like, is shit gonna go bad if I tell people to be quiet? Are they gonna flip out
Yeah,
on me?
It's
Am I
it's
gonna
too
get a
risky
psycho?
now. Honestly,
you know,
it's
am
too
I gonna
risky.
get a psycho? Yeah.
I mean, I told this before, but that one time when a guy was sitting, he and his girlfriend were in one from the aisle, and there was one seat next to them, and my group could fit there if he moved over one.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like,
I
hey,
hate
sorry,
this story.
can you move over one? You know, and he just goes ballistic. And like, we're all there early. The movie hasn't started yet. He's just like, fuck you. It's not my fault you didn't get here on time. Again, we're all early. The movie doesn't start for another 10, 15 minutes. Like, I always get to the movies early.
so what's on time for this?
Right.
douchebag?
Like, just before him. And like, he was just freaking out. He's like, why should I have to change my life for you? Because you don't know how to plan your shit. And like, this just re-solidified why I refuse to go to movies without assigned seating also. Because like, you have no recourse in this situation. Like, you just you're at the whim of psychos.
The whim of a madman.
The whim of a madman. I felt so bad for his girlfriend. Like, I like looked at her while this
What's
was
that in
happening.
Matthew
and
That's
Walden?
just-
speed.
There
Whim
it
of
is.
a
Okay,
madman.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God.
There's no way I'd miss that one.
There's no way he's missing that one. Anyways.
Yeah, that is insane.
Crazy people.
I watch too much true crime to
Oh,
now
no.
to fuck with anyone. Feel free.
Yeah,
You want to
no.
you want to ruin my life? Have at it. I'm not going to say a word about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why at Huber I like to go to the Alamo, because they have systems in place for quietly getting people removed if they're being a problem.
Yeah.
People have only
They
ever
have
been a problem
lasers
once.
that come up.
Yeah,
that's
they'll
good.
vaporize you in your seat. The body can
It's the
do
one. It's another silver lining with the IMAX too, because it's so massive. The one I go to,
that. Yeah.
where I can usually just like sit away from everybody. Like that's one of the main reasons I love it too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hell
like
is other people.
Fury or Mad Max is coming out this weekend. I'm see it Monday night, last show, back corner.
I'm-
That's me.
I'm seeing it the 31st, I think.
Nice.
Say that.
Yeah, take a beat.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah. Last one. We made it.
Sweet.
Codalito says, do you have any one-off movies that you wish got a sequel? My Pie in the Sky one is obviously a second Dread movie with Carl Urban. I was also a bit bummed out that Brightburn 2 got shelved.
Peach trees.
That could have been an interesting if done right.
Peach trees. Peach trees.
Peach trees. We'll
Go to
take
peach trees.
We'll go to peach trees. Have you've seen Dread, right, Matthew?
Dread, the Judge Dredd
Yeah,
sequel?
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Well,
been
it's
a
like a
while.
requel.
Yeah.
Dude, Dread is fucking great.
Dread's the best answer
And-
for this. 100%.
Dread is the perfect answer for this.
Yeah.
I would love another Dread.
Yeah.
Also, my second favorite answer, and there's still hope for this one. Alita Battle Angel
Oh, caught Hugo out.
must
Got yourself a movie.
have another. We must have another.
That movie was pretty sick. I
love
didn't hate
it.
it. I didn't hate it.
Oh yeah, we need one so bad.
Fucking A.
All right.
And the
I've-
behind the scenes people are like heavily. They're like gung ho about it. They're like, yeah, like Rosa Salazar is ready. She's ready to go.
I still need to see that because so many people that I know with great taste swear by
It's
first
I
one, yeah.
I fucking swear by it. I will die on that hill every day, just like Pacific Rim Uprising is incredible.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
a lot of really cool stuff in it, and I think it's a good like anime to live action quote
Yep.
unquote realization. Hugo sucks. Cut him out
Yeah,
of the
Hugo
movie.
sucks. Hugo sucks.
And like
Hugo
her
sucks.
reaction to Hugo is very strange. And like
Hugo sucks.
maybe they were trying to do that on purpose because it's like she's a kid trying to navigate.
Yeah,
being
probably
in
some
the-
comic book shit. I never read the comic.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
gonna
don't
lie.
know,
I'm no
but-
pro here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Codalito also has a classic anime of the month here. Standalone that became a sequel, Genesis Climber Mospeada from 1983, better known in the West as the third installment of Robotech. Oh, okay.
Whoa.
It follows a ragtag bunch of humans fighting to take back Earth from the alien race Inbit. It just got released on Crunchyroll, and I'm barely halfway through it, but so far it's been featuring some great mecha action. The only thing that has me cautious is that one of the males in the group goes undercover as a female pop singer. Yeah, that can go bad in a 80s anime for sure. The
Sometimes
characters-
they do interesting
sometimes
things, though. Yeah,
sometimes you're
they have
surprised,
some.
yeah.
Yeah, it can go either way. Yeah.
Back then it could really go out hard one way or the other, either really
Yeah.
offensive or shockingly like touching and accurate.
Can I just have one more shout out for Pacific Rim Uprising, one of the most misunderstood blockbusters ever? I
never
love
saw
this
it.
movie. It also has in one of her first roles the girl I was just talking about that's going to be an alien, Kaylee Spaney. I don't know how to say her last name. And I remember when I saw this movie that because I need an emotional connection as well to truly be obsessed with a movie. I love her character in this movie. She's like a scrapper looking for parts out in the wilderness, and
Oh,
she gets like
cool.
thrown into like the kaiju mech war or whatever, but she has like her little mech suit. I remember just being like, dude, this girl's fucking badass. Now she's a movie star. Like, dude, movie so good. So good. It's misunderstood.
I gotta see it.
Yeah, I want to say it sounds like my deal.
It's really
the words you're
cool.
saying are like in my word cloud. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you know, obviously
Scrapper,
the first
kaiju
one,
parts.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Obviously, the first one is Guillermo del Toro, so you got to
Yeah.
adjust your expectations with that going in. It's not, he did not direct the second one. So, I mean, you're losing one of the best filmmakers of all time. Of course, it's not going to be like on that level, but for a Hollywood big budget blockbuster action movie, to me, it's like top tier. I love it.
Sick.
Yeah.
And before
Cool.
we get to Matthew's beautiful list of movies none of us have ever heard of.
Wacko
Hell yeah.
Snacko. Wacko Snacko.
Wacko Snacko.
What is that little house behind you, Huber, that you have? I've always wanted to ask you about that.
That is the Baker House from
Oh,
Resident Evil
okay.
7.
Where did you get that?
Collector's edition.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. What's on your list?
Go for it. Okay, I'll micro machine this. I bet you've heard of some of these. I just didn't want to
Probably.
forget about them. So
I have obscure movie knowledge, but you put me to shame.
Infernal Affairs.
Oh,
These are the movies that The Departed.
I still like
it
Departed
was
more.
based
I still like
on.
Departed more. Sorry. Sorry.
Hong Kong movies. It's
Then
a
Infernal
trilogy.
Affairs must suck.
Yeah, it's a trilogy. The first two movies are worth watching. The first two movies are very intricate. Cop and a mole, and there's a mole in each. There's a mole from the cops and the gangster syndicate. There's a mole from the gangsters in the cops department. It's so incredible to watch. Watch the first one and the second one. You're gonna have an amazing time.
Watch
If you like
The
The Departed,
before though, just so you know what's better.
debatable, heavily debatable. But I think you'll have a good time no matter what you watch. But watch both. Watch both. I would also say the Police Story movies, Jackie Chan's Police Story movies. Also, you need to watch Super Cop, which is in the Police Story series.
But wait, do you have Super Cop or First Strike in Cantonese or Mandarin? Do you have it?
I do not have it, but I've seen it. It's not in this set.
I
but,
know the
just bringing it up.
fucking distribution rights
yeah,
with that
yeah.
shit.
You can find it if you look hard enough.
Okay.
And DM me, I'll help you find it.
Okay.
But yeah, Super Cop has Michelle Yeoh riding a motorcycle on top of a train.
I've seen that
You have to
trick,
see
yeah.
it. It's
Her
so
stunt.
incredible. Yeah,
Mhm.
if you like her, you need to check that
She's
out.
amazing.
Dead or Alive trilogy. Takashi
Nice,
Miike.
dude. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite Miike's. That shit gets insane. That
does.
movie
Really?
goes off
I've
the
never
rails.
seen that one. Miike has
Yeah.
made so many fucking movies. It's insane.
Yeah, 1 and 2 are the best. Especially
Yeah.
2. It gets bonkers. It's like it's a crime movie, but like it goes places you won't expect, like
What if
bazookas.
What if
Yeah.
I said a little too bonkers?
Yeah, that's
Miike for ya.
Too bonkers. Yeah, it is Miike. I will also say there's this great Hammer trilogy. It's called the Karnstein trilogy. Twins of Evil is the best one in it. It's the third one. You can watch all of them. They get a little softy. They get a little softcore, but not Twins of Evil. Twins of Evil is the one you can just jump straight to. It's actual twin vampires.
Sick.
And they're vampire hunters in the woods, and it looks like the Crucible, and they're gonna burn some people, and there are these actual twins like vampires, and it's amazing. And that one you can watch with family around. Well, maybe not family. You don't want kids around, but
Sure.
it's not embarrassing. So,
Right.
Twins of Evil,
I
part
did not
3 in a
expect-
trilogy.
I did not expect you to. I don't know why I didn't expect this, but I did not expect you to physically have every single one of these movies on Blu-ray.
I feel like it's more show and tell.
Visual, yeah.
Once Upon a Time in China, Jet Li's series of martial
The
art
best,
movies.
dude. What an
These are
epic.
so good.
That was another one
Um,
that's hard to find in its native language. Actually, Once Upon a Time
I
in
think
China.
this Criterion release has
Hell
the
yeah,
Cantonese on
perfect.
there. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I really like all of these. All of these are so much fun. Part 2 has this gang of criminal women. I mean, I think it gets very political, and the politics I don't quite understand, but in the movie's narrative, I think these women are criminals. It's always fun to have a gang of criminal women who know martial arts. That's part 2, but there are also like all these festivals with the dragons, and they stack up on top of each other as you go along in the sequels. All the sequels are fun. Jet Li, it's so fun.
Legend.
Great movies. Lots of firecrackers, lots of martial arts. They're great.
Fuck yeah,
Um,
dude. Classic.
I think Asian action movies have a good track record with sequels. They really do. They make a lot of them, so you're bound to like get hits more often.
Oh, volume, yeah.
Yeah. In the Line of Duty, 1
Hmm.
through 4. These are Hong Kong cop movies. Michelle Yeoh is in some of these. Donnie
I think I've seen
Yen.
one of those with
Donnie Yen
Yeah,
is
yeah,
in
yeah.
part
Yen, dude.
4.
Yep, that's one I've
with
seen.
Cynthia Khan. Oh my God, I was scared these people are gonna die doing these stunts. I was scared these people were gonna die. I'm glad they didn't, they all survive. But watching these stunts, you're just like, oh, it's like in the 1980s, I think, or yeah, I think this was filmed in the 80s, a lot of these. And I will have to say, put in the Line of Duty, I hate to do this to you, Huber, put in the Line of Duty 1 through 4 up against John Wick 1 through 4.
Oh no.
And
Oh,
it pretty
no.
much takes John Wick's dog like out in the
Oh.
backyard and assassinates John Wick's
But that's
dog.
what gets
Four,
John Wick
I
after
mean,
you.
John
Yeah.
Wick 4, top of the mountain. Top
I
of
mean,
the mountain, John Wick
Donnie
4.
Yen is in John Wick 4 and in the Line of
Yeah.
Duty 4, and I will pick in the Line of Duty 4.
In fact, if you climb to the top of Mount Everest, there's a Blu-ray box of John Wick Chapter 4 just sitting up there.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no one wants to watch
Yeah.
it after they
No!
saw in the Line of Duty 4. That's why it's sitting up there. I'm just kidding. They're both great. They're
Yeah.
both great. But
Hong Kong action movies, that's my love language, Matthew.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
if you love Donnie Yen in John Wick 4, go watch more. Go watch
He's
more. He
great.
does some rooftop fights. It's so much fun.
Dude, they're making another. That was a headline. They're making fucking Ip Man 5. I thought it was over after 4.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're making
with
a
him?
spin-off.
Is he going to make an appearance?
What's up?
Probably. Is he going to make an appearance?
Donnie
Or-
Yen?
Yeah. and
Yeah, he's
part
starring
5?
again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, wow.
They're
Yeah,
doing a
great.
spin-off of his character from John Wick 4 also.
Like a whole entire movie devoted to him.
Apparently.
Yes.
That's
Something.
great. Yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah.
And the last one I have here is the female prisoner Scorpion movies. There's 4 of these. This is Meiko Kaji, one of my favorite actors from the 60s and 70s in Japan. She's so exciting and cool. If you watch Kill Bill 1, sequels we didn't talk about actually, but
Oh,
Kill
yeah.
Bill 1, there's like a song that she does kind of near the end. She's in the soundtrack, but she was an amazing actress in Japan. She's in the Lady Snowblood movies, which are pretty famous. But Female Prisoner Scorpion, these are revenge movies. She breaks out of jail, gets on revenge on these police. So if you want to see a woman dressed very fashionably get revenge on awful police officers, this is the movie to watch. She's
Is it
got,
weird
like,
that the fashion is the thing that interested me the most in that?
Yeah, the fashion is what interested me the most. She has like this black jacket, this black trench coat, and a really cool witch hat. You know,
Sick.
very like Brooklyn, New York, hipster witch kind of fashion, that deal.
Okay.
But she's great with swords. And in part 3 of these movies, this doesn't give anything away. This is just a teaser to make you watch it. She's got a cop after her and she's handcuffed. She gets on a subway. The cop's hand gets chopped off in the subway door. So she's just
Whoa.
got a cop's hand handcuffed to her and she's running down the street
That's
as
badass.
like police dogs chase after her and the
God.
hand that was chopped
She
off.
looks
Yeah.
so cool. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
she's very cool. I mean, Meiko
Oh my
Kaji is incredible.
God.
Yeah, if you see those images, it'll make
She's
you want to watch
just
his movies.
all black, cool
Yeah.
hat.
And she's got
It's
a
like a
stare,
gunslinger
like a
hat.
death stare for
Yeah.
miles.
Every
Badass.
picture of her is like looking over her back shoulder, just like kind of pissed at the camera, like with hair
Exactly.
covering most of her face. I'm like, oh my God.
I will say a warning, these are like 60s, 70s exploitation movies. So
Yeah.
they are intense. All the baggage that comes with those kind of grindhouse movies comes with
I mean,
these,
this-
so prepare yourself, but they
This,
are good.
This poster for why is it called Female Prisoner 701 Scorpion, whatever, 1972,
701.
has 20 naked women on it.
Jeez.
Like full, you could see their boobs and everything.
You
So
can see everything.
I'm in.
Yeah, sign me
Um,
up.
I would watch 701. I would probably watch Beast Stable. Those are the good ones. Jailhouse 41's good also. Those 3, if you're looking for any of them. But yeah, those are some sequels I like. A lot of like Asian martial arts movies have great
Yeah.
sequels. That
Shit, yeah.
concludes it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good list.
Very good stuff.
10 out of 10.
All right, that's going to do it for us this month.
That's gonna do it.
Thank you both. Thank you everyone on patreon.com/reaction shots. Sign up if you want to join us.
Thank you.
Join the conversation.
Chuck a buck.
Chuck us a buck. There's 3 of us, $3. Chuck us a buck. Yeah, we'll be back. I'll post the topic mid-month, next month, and then this episode's going up much earlier than usual, but usually they come out toward the end of the month. Yeah. So thank you so much. I'm just looking at pictures of this female assassin, female prisoner Scorpion. She looks so cool. Anyways,
yeah, her fashion is like untouchable. Yeah.
Get her in the next Mortal Kombat game, guest character.
holy shit.
Oh, she'd be perfect for it. Yeah.
All right, everybody. See you next month. Bye.
Bye.